Ethan Turner had never wanted trouble. A single dad with a 5-year-old son and a mountain of bills, all he ever hoped for was a job steady enough to keep food on the table and a roof that didn't leak when it rained. But trouble has a way of recognizing gentle souls, and finding them. It found Ethan on a cold Thursday morning in the lobby of the Beaumont Hotel, where he worked as a part-time maintenance tech. He was fixing a broken lamp near the entrance when a woman swept in with the kind of confidence that made the air shift. She was tall, elegant, wrapped in winter white wool and shadows of perfume that whispered money. The staff straightened as she passed, and even the marble floors seemed to glow under her heels. Aurora Beaumont, the billionaire heiress, the Beaumont Empire's untouchable crown jewel. Ethan didn't know her. Not really, but he'd seen her face on magazines while waiting in checkout lines. A woman born into wealth, photographed stepping out of private jets or attending charity galas where the champagne probably cost more than his monthly rent. She belonged to a world he had never even dreamed of touching. So when she stopped, turned, and looked directly at him, he froze. "Excuse me," she said, her voice low, smooth, unmistakably commanding. "Are you the maintenance worker assigned to the East Wing Suites?" Ethan swallowed. "Yes, ma'am." Her eyes, colder than the winter air outside, flicked toward the elevator. "Follow me." He did, because what else could he do? But as they entered the private elevator, Ethan felt something strange in the air, tension, sharp and electric. Aurora said nothing until the doors closed, and then she turned to him fully. "What's your name?" she asked. "Ethan Turner. And you work here how long?" 2 years. She studied him, her gaze a blade peeling back every defense. "Good. I need someone I can trust. Ma'am, I just fix things. Today, you'll fix something else." The elevator chimed, the doors sliding open to reveal the penthouse suite. The Beaumont penthouse was a kingdom of glass walls, roaring fireplaces, and views that stretched farther than Ethan's entire future. He stepped inside, feeling like an intruder. Aurora walked ahead and pointed to the far corner. "My father has arranged a meeting with investors tonight. One of them is a man I cannot stand. A man who won't take no for an answer. He believes I'm—" She paused, interested in him. "I've told him otherwise. He doesn't care." Ethan's brows knit. "I'm sorry to hear that, but I still don't know what you need from." "You're going to help me shut him down," she said, stepping closer. "I need you to pretend to be the man I'm involved with." "Me?" Ethan blinked. "You want me, a maintenance guy, to pretend to be?" He laughed, unsure whether the situation was absurd or dangerous. "Aurora, I think you've got the wrong person." Her gaze sharpened. "I chose you for a reason." "What reason?" "You were the only man in the lobby not staring at me like I was a prize on a pedestal. You didn't gawk. You didn't whisper. You just did your job." A breath. "I'm tired of being hunted by men who see only my name and what they can gain. I need someone who hasn't rehearsed their charm for me." Ethan scratched the back of his neck. "Okay, but what exactly do you want me to do?" She inhaled, bracing herself. "When the investor arrives, I need him to believe I'm deeply, passionately unavailable. That means a convincing performance. Including, if necessary, a kiss." Ethan's heart punched his ribs. His instinct was to refuse, but then he thought of Jamie, his son, and the sink full of unpaid bills waiting at home. He thought of his hours being cut next month. Of the eviction notice he feared would come next. Aurora saw the hesitation. "I'll compensate you generously. Enough to cover whatever's weighing on you." And just like that, she read him. He exhaled shakily. "All right," he said. "If it keeps you safe, I'll help." Hours later, the penthouse hummed with low laughter and clinking glasses as the investors gathered. Ethan stood beside Aurora, wearing a tailored jacket borrowed from the concierge, feeling like a cardboard cutout in a gallery of gold frames. But Aurora's hand occasionally brushed his, deliberate, reassuring. Their act had begun. Then Bernard Clay walked in. Clay was older, wealthy, and reeked of entitlement. His gaze landed on Aurora like she was property, and Ethan felt his jaw tighten. "Aurora," Clay purred, "you look exquisite. And who's this?" He eyed Ethan like he'd found lint on a designer jacket. Aurora slipped her hand around Ethan's arm. "This is Ethan," she said sweetly. "My partner." Clay's smile thinned. "Partner? Really?" "Yes," she said. "Really." But Clay took a step closer, ignoring Ethan entirely. Aurora, we still have business to discuss. Privately. She's with me, Ethan said before he could stop himself. Clay sneered. Son, stay out of. Then Aurora did something bold. She tipped Ethan's chin toward her and kissed him. It was supposed to be a performance. A staged gesture. A deterrent. But the moment her lips touched his, the world dropped away. Her kiss was soft at first. Testing him, testing the lie, but then her fingers curled into the back of his neck, pulling him closer. The room spun. She tasted like winter and danger and something warm he hadn't felt in years. Ethan's breath caught, his heart forgetting its rhythm. He wasn't acting anymore. When Aurora finally pulled back, her cheeks were flushed, her eyes bright, not with embarrassment but with something wild. Clay muttered an excuse and stormed off, shattering the tension in the room. The investors returned to their conversations. But Ethan and Aurora could only stare at each other. That was, Ethan began. Convincing, she whispered. More than that. Aurora stepped away, suddenly restless. I'm sorry, I should have warned you I'd do it so suddenly. I didn't expect to. She stopped. You didn't expect what? That I'd feel that, she said quietly. Ethan's breath hitched. She was the heiress to a billion-dollar empire. He was a single father trying not to drown. Their worlds were separated by planets, galaxies even. But in that moment, none of it mattered. Ethan, she said softly, can I ask you something? Anything. When I kissed you, why did you kiss me back like that? He swallowed. Because it didn't feel fake. Aurora stood still, her expression cracking open like a secret door.